手机为手机我分手了。
Maybe this one's good. I did not like that. Screen didn't even fucking record. What the hell? Why is my screen freezing? My computer does not want me to talk about Jakeneutron. I don't get why. But recently, his most popular song was Jack's Toy. So I want to talk about Jack's Toy real quick, because I do not like this song. At all. I don't get how anyone can glaze this song and think it's good. Like, objectively, I'm not the guy you should go to criticize music, right? My most listened to song of 2024 was a fucking Has-Been Hotel fan song by Black Gryphon, you know, the guy who groomed his wife, right? I have no room to judge, right? But I do not like Jack's Toy. But recently, stuff came out against Jakeneutron, which is really bad, and his response wasn't great. Now, first, I need to talk about what happened in 2021, because in 2021, content creator Kitten Sneeze, who has their own separate controversy, they drew themselves as a Nazi when they were 13. I don't get why they did that, but they did that. Basically, Kitten Sneeze accused Jakeneutron of being a groomer as well as abusive. But in 2024, she retracted these statements, stating she was misled by her own trauma and mental health struggles, in which Jakeneutron publicly forgave her, and then they did collaborations with each other, and people weren't happy about that because Kitten Sneeze drew herself as a Nazi when she was 13. I don't get why she did that. Why'd you do that? But basically, this started when Discord messages leaked between Jakeneutron and Kitten Sneeze. The leaked screenshot shows Jakeneutron and Kitten Sneeze defending a rapist. This is exactly what Jakeneutron and Kitten Sneeze said. I'm just gonna read this to you. I feel gross in saying this, but all Blank got was fingered. But she wasn't used. Logan was. Her boundaries were pushed once. His were pushed all the time. This isn't a contest of who hurt who worse, but from an outside looking in, Blank is the monster in this situation. Anyways, that's all the rambling I'm gonna do on this. I'm just emotional. Sorry I spammed your phone. Just know that if this were to somehow ever come back up, it would be hard to fight for the truth. I don't know. I don't think it will happen, but that's just me being paranoid. I can't imagine Blank wanting to. Yeah, she also scares me. That I don't know those people and their level of judgment. I'm afraid of them somehow hyping her into something drastic. But at the same time, I don't see Blank letting them cause that drastic thing. Would take a lot of effort. I know she's been too lazy / anxious to do in the past. And then Kitten Sneeze said, yeah, and I doubt she wants this to be public. And then Jakeneutron says, I just hate that if she were to do this, it will be stuck to our careers forever. And then more stuff came out about it where he drew CP, trigger warning, censored NSFW art of minors by Jake. Jakeneutron drew both the victim and Kitten Sneeze when they were minors, allegedly as young as 15 years old. When Kitten came out about it, she was villainized for speaking out. This explains Jake and Kitten's dynamic super clearly. And this all came out because of this tweet here.
That the people that have worked with this guy decide to cut ties with him. They probably won't though, due to them not knowing, and I do not expect a response to be made. And it gets worse. What the fuck? You downplay rape and you made porn of this person when they were 17? That's fucking weird. Can't wait for this to never be addressed so I can sit here and wonder if these allegations are real or not.
And then there's this tweet that provides more context for the initial grooming allegations that Kitten Sneeze brought against Jakeneutron in 2021. I'm just going to read this entire thread for you. A lot of people are acting like Kitten Sneeze maliciously fabricated Jake being a groomer and then backpedaled once caught. But after reading the full screenshots, the situation looks a lot more nuanced than that thread. Screenshots show Kitten being pressured by an entire group chat at once, while actively trying to amend and clarify her statements in real time. She reportedly says she would amend / remove posts. She would correct wording publicly. Kitten Sneeze wasn't refusing accountability. The conversation starts as please correct misinformation, but quickly shifts into you are not allowed to discuss his harmful behavior at all. Kitten Sneeze kept trying to say I used the wrong terminology, but I still feel traumatized by what happened. The screenshots show Kitten being dogpiled by an entire group chat at once, publicly humiliated, told people felt unsafe with her there, and pressured into giving extremely specific scripted apologies. Kitten backpedaling was absolutely done out of pressure from a massive group. The hardest part to digest, in my opinion, is how quickly empathy failed. Kitten Sneeze messaging getting death threats, doxing threats, losing friends to opportunities, and colleges being contacted. And the group chat responds with, "I can't see you as a victim," / "My empathy is drained." The chat continues to interrogate her and get her to find details regarding the situation, even though Jake defended a rapist and also drew porn of real minors against their will. How Kitten Sneeze handled it was messy and explosive, but it made sense from a traumatized teenager. The chat continues to pressure Kitten Sneeze, making fun of her situation, bully her about holding Jakeneutron accountable, multiple people against one person demanding explanations and demanding she correct her statements about Jake. Kitten Sneeze finally tucks tail and submits to everyone in the group chat, pressuring her and dogpiling her to say Jake did not groom anyone, while Jake did expose minors to NSFW, draw NSFW of minors, and defended a rapist of a minor. So I think grooming was the correct word. These screenshots are major. The entire group chat is continuing on telling her what to do, how to achieving your posts about Jake's predatory behavior was a good move, etc. There's very clear evidence here that Kitten Sneeze was dogpiled to remove what she said about Jake. Group chat tells Kitten Sneeze, a victim of grooming herself / younger person in this situation, that it makes it harder for real victims to come forward because she herself spoke about Jake having inappropriate contact with minors. More of the group chat fully pressuring her to post it on all of her platforms that Jake isn't predatory when he clearly was, nitpicking every part of her beware and the hashtags used, even after Kitten states she's been getting threatened. In a final effort, Kitten Sneeze shows there are multiple definitions of grooming. The group chat mocks her with a clown reaction / etc. They vote to have her removed from the space that she was trying to have Jakeneutron held accountable in. This is why Kitten hasn't spoken up in years. Now, this is a lot of stuff, right? A lot of really damning and gross stuff. And you're probably wondering, how exactly did Jakeneutron address this? Well, it wasn't great. I should just read you what it says. 1.6 million views, 1.3 thousand likes, only some accounts can reply, and the quote tweets have more likes than the original tweet. Not received well, and I understand why. I'll just read it for you. "I want to start by apologizing for taking so long to make a statement. I want to be sure I properly spoke to and consulted affected parties, such as the victim, and think through how to address this. I am aware that old cut screenshots of me discussing an assault callously have been circulating. This has caused a lot of concern about how I view things like rape and sexual assault, and I needed to clear the air on that. Those screenshots are from a conversation when I was 19. A friend had very recently been sexually assaulted, and both parties involved were still trying to figure out how to explain what happened. Me and a friend had been trying to understand it all, and on rather it was to be labeled as rape or sexual assault. Google and some older adults gave us conflicting and sometimes incorrect answers on this. But ultimately, I came to understand how incorrect and insensitive our conclusions were, and how we shouldn't have been speculating on the details so much when our friend needed complete and total support. I have long since apologized and discussed this with the victim, and we've remained friends for years since. They have my unconditional love and support, and I'm glad they are in a much safer place now. I shall apologize once more for the heinous words and actions and to anyone who was disturbed and felt unsafe reading them. I'd also encourage people to stop seeking out the victim and harass them, as they have been getting harassed and threatened since the discussion started circulating. I apologize once more for the stress and concern brought to people close to me as well." Anyway, let's read through some of these responses. You were calling the rape victim a monster, and how if the victim came out publicly it would stain your career. Jake, dance if you're a rape apologist and are friends with a Nazi. Knows how he's intentionally vague about what the conversation was about because he doesn't want people finding out that he called a rape victim a monster at the grown age of 19. You actually don't deserve a platform and your Nazi friend doesn't either. I was 19, you were a fucking adult, buddy, don't get a pass. Yeah, as you can see, was not received well at all. And that's where all this stands. He didn't do a good job addressing